Hey everybody, this is Erika Szabo, welcome back. So today I look extra pale on camera because I re-dyed my hair so it's all navy, and of course the contrast makes me look like a ghost, but that's okay. That's not really the point of this video at all, I just noticed it when I was filming. But this video is gonna be on my January pickups because I was running late on that and I had to do it, and then I figured that while I really would love to do my Majora's Mask review this Friday, I also realized I want to spend more time with the game. Not only that, but this Friday is Friday the 13th, so I wanted to do something especially scary. Now, Majora's Mask is already a pretty scary game, but I'm gonna have my top 5, top 10 scariest moments in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask instead. I figure that'll be a nice little lead up to my Majora's Mask review coming next week on Wednesday, let's say that. But yeah, for now I wanted to show you some of the stuff I ended up getting. I started kind of getting confused as to what I got in February and what I got in January, so it took me a little while to get this ready. But I think I got everything. There isn't too much, but there's still some pretty good stuff. So yeah, let's get started. So let's start with gaming. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to include anything in terms of review copies for games. Like, I did get Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2, and I did get Majora's Mask on the 3DS, but those weren't really pickups per se. So I will show you just a few stuff in terms of gaming. Metroid Prime Hunters, which is really cool, I gotta say. I really enjoyed this a lot. I don't know what the difference is with First Hunt though, if anyone wants to tell me, because I'm pretty sure I didn't play First Hunt, but I really enjoyed playing this. It was really fun. And then aside from that, we have some more Metroid here. We got Metroid 2 Return of Samus. I'm a big Metroid fan. I really loved the sense of exploration it had to offer. I always had more of an edge towards that than I did Castlevania, though I do like Castlevania. Like, there's a reason why I have Symphony of the Night over there. Yeah. And then of course like Dracula X is really awesome too. Rondo of Blood I want to own so badly. I do also like Simon's Quest. Yeah, Simon's Quest. I was gonna say, I'm like, wait. You know, sometimes when you think you're saying the right name of a game and then it feels oddly strange, like it's not. It's almost like when you're trying to say a word that isn't actually a word but you think is a word. I don't know. Anyways, I have another game here. It's kind of like a Star Fox type clone, Total Eclipse Turbo. I also got that. I love these tall boxes or long boxes or whatever. But it's by Crystal Dynamics, which is pretty cool too. I haven't played this. I've played these two already though. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that's going to be like. So yeah, I guess let's move on to other things. There isn't really any anime. I haven't really been buying any anime, but I do have a lot of like tokusatsu stuff, and I have a lot of movies, and I have books and things, so I guess I'll move on to one of those. So, in terms of tokusatsu, because I have to make up for my lack of anime stuff because there isn't any, but there will be. Now that I'm watching Berserk, there's going to be a lot of mangas coming in. It's gonna be good. So I haven't been back to West End Comics, so I haven't gotten any of my comics. I'm running behind. But I did get this really awesome gift package from my friend Carlos over in California. He sent me a lot of amazing things. Now, some of these things I already have up on my wall. I already have decorated my place with, so I couldn't take them down. But there are a few things I was able to show you, or I will be able to show you in case you didn't already see the unboxing video for the amazing unboxing of awesomeness. AKA Carlos is wicked and amazing and everything. So, because he really is. Apparently he's sending me another package. I'm just like really, I have no clue. But he got me this really awesome Kamen Rider O's figure. I'm a big Kamen Rider fan. So Kamen Rider is one of those things that was a really big part of just my life growing up. I just never really had a chance to talk to anyone about any of it, so I just kind of hush, you know, I just kind of kept it to myself. But I'm glad I have people I can talk about this sort of stuff with. That's why I like having my YouTube channel, and that's why I like having my alternate YouTube channel, Sharp Objects. But it's so nice. Look at that. Look how cool he looks. He's just so badass. And he's just like, he has like a lot of really nice detail to him. I made sure to keep the box and everything too, and he's just like so wicked. I love this stance, it's so cool. So he's like, he's my forever boyfriend. He's my new boyfriend. He's so cool. But this makes me think of how badly I want a Kamen Rider W figure, because I love him because he has like that flowing scarf and it's just so cool, and it's more detective themed, and oh, it's so good. So that's a taste of one thing that he got me. And then I always forget the name of the new Power Rangers series, or Super Sentai series. I was gonna say Power Rangers, I really shouldn't. I'm not as big into Super Sentai, or I don't know as much about it rather. I grew up on Power Rangers, so like North American Super Sentai. So I really only know that stuff. But apparently the new Super Sentai series that's out right now is train themed, although I think that they're doing a ninja one soon. But I got the yellow and the Green Ranger. You know, it's funny, Green Rangers are always my favorite in terms of guys. Like, I tend to have crushes on them. I really liked the Green Ranger in the first series with the flute. I had a big crush on him. I had a huge crush on him. And Doc as well in Gokaiger. He's adorable and really strange man. He did some really weird stuff in the show. Yeah, just think about his transformation. Think about the weird things he did. I could talk to Alan about that all day long. I really do. I really do miss watching that show with you, Alan, so hopefully we can too. And in terms of yellow or pink ranger, I've always been more of a yellow. And I think that kind of shows in my personality. I'm a bit more on the feisty side, a bit more on the independent side. Yellow is usually the way it goes for me. So if I was ever going to be a ranger, I'd probably be a yellow ranger. I would love to, I would actually love to do a cosplay for Gokaiger. I think that would be so wicked. I love the pirate theme, and I just think it would be cool. And then also he got me, and I just love those helmets. They're so expensive, but I would love one. I would love one. There's a guy on Facebook that we found who's like really amazing at making them, so perhaps. And I think for Kamen Rider as well, actually, too. So maybe something to consider. He also got me this really awesome mount for this Mobile Suit Gundam head. This is from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. I don't know why he's asymmetrical. I can't actually figure out exactly what model he is. But I really, like, I adore him very much so. He's just so lovely looking. I'm a big Gundam fan. I grew up watching a lot of Gundam. My first Gundam series was Gundam Wing, as with most people, and I was like the perfect age because I was watching Toonami, and then, you know, it was all at the perfect time. It was Gundam Wing, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. I was watching Slayers. Oh, it was so good. It was a good time to be into anime. So, and then, you know, I watched the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and I was watching, oh, all kinds of stuff. Let me think, what else? Robotech. I was watching a lot of that. Macross. Oh yeah, good memories. Really good memories. Yeah, so I guess let's move on to movies. Alright, yeah, I'm like, frick, I am so pale. I think these lights are making me more pale than I actually am, because I'm really not this pale. But I got some really awesome movies here. It was a big movie month, especially with Sharp Objects out now. I feel like I have more reason to spend more money. I feel like I don't know. I like spending money on things I love. I like to kind of represent what I love. And it also serves as a lot of things, like negative and positive. Positive in the sense that I do that, but negative in the sense that I buy things to hide how I feel in terms of anxiety. So yeah, that's not always a good thing. But I usually try and spend for the better of mankind, or for the better of my apartment, because my apartment is looking better and better thanks to it. So even though I already had a lot of stuff anyways. But anyways, let's get to it. For DVDs, I got Godzilla vs. Biollante. I did a video on my top 5 Godzilla fights, and this was one of them. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. But this is kind of a no-brainer to have on the list for top fights, because this is the most horror themed fight. This is one of the scarier ones. it was just, it reminded me of Little Shop of Horrors, but with Godzilla. But even scarier, like it was super menacing, and anything like plant monsters or anything organic like that, I find very terrifying. And Biollante is huge too. So like that I loved, and Mothra, of course. Mothra is like my gal. And then I also got Thriller, A Cruel Picture, which is really great if you're into like vengeance films, which I'm a big fan of. I really like exploitation films, and if they incorporate revenge in them, I'm very keen on it. I like new films that tend to incorporate it as well, but like older films, like Pink films, like Scorpion, Prisoner, 601, big fan of, and all sorts of stuff. And then of course sometimes you have to get stuff in bad taste as well, so I got me some Choppin' Mall, because this is an amazing film, and it's actually really hard to find on DVD. It was quite expensive, but I'm happy I have it, because like this is one of those things where like, yeah, you'll find it on VHS. VHS is great and all, I have my VHS player still, but there's something nice about having this sort of stuff on DVD too. And I love the catchphrases they tend to have as well, like where shopping can cost you an arm and a leg. Like, that's so funny. I like at Park Plaza Mall, the new security force isn't just tight, it's terrifying. Like, oh man, who came up with these and how much did they pay them? I want to know. I really want to know. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I really like this, and it has a lot of really cool actors, like actors from other really awesome and notable horror films during the time, like The Reanimator, From Beyond, Friday the 13th, and stuff like that. Now, this is actually the most terrifying film out of everything I have here, even more so than Biollante, is Beyond the Black Rainbow. I saw this a few years back with my ex Brad in the theaters, and it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen in theaters, but I'm so thankful for having seen it in theaters. It's really strange. It really makes you feel like, because it's a new film, like it's a newer film, but it's made to seem like it was filmed in the 80s, and it's also just a very strange, trippy experience. There's not a lot of dialogue, it's much more visual storytelling, and it's terrifying. Like, it's really freaking unsettling. It has some really nice, the visuals are very reminiscent of Stanley Kubrick. Just really nice angles, really well thought out, and the music is incredible. Like, if you're into like dark electro, really atmospheric dark electro, I think you'll really like it. But I highly recommend this film if you want a good sci-fi scare. And then last but certainly not least, although I'm a little hit and miss with this movie, I got on Blu-ray, Snowpiercer. I didn't review it. I'm thinking about perhaps reviewing it, but I'm actually more interested in reading the graphic novel for it. Whoa. The graphic novel for it. But I did enjoy the movie. I did actually quite a bit. It's just, I like the premise of it. I like how it's very much like Paradise Gone Wrong. It's got actually really nice social commentary and commentary on human nature itself. I thought that was pretty interesting. I do feel that it fell short towards the end of the film, but I love the idea of the film, and how it's set on a train, and how there are different tiers, different classes on this train. But when you think about it, it really signifies the kind of tiers we put ourselves into in our daily lives as well. So I found that very interesting. Obviously this train is full of crazy people, so you're gonna get like the most outrageous, you know, cars ever that signify different things in different classes in society, you know, with the craziness involved. Of course you would be crazy at that point if you're stuck, if you're trapped in this moving train for God knows how long. I think anyone would go crazy in that respect, but it's very, it's a really nice film. I really enjoyed it for the atmosphere in particular. And I'm really happy to add it to my collection, to be honest. I really am. I'm just really excited to read the graphic novel to see what the differences are going to end up being like, right? So I will say Tilda Swinton's character in particular was really enjoyable. I think you might really enjoy it for that. I know some people are very hit and miss about the film, especially towards the end. And I will say that is kind of when it started to falter a bit, but I would definitely give it a shot. It's definitely worth your time, and it's probably as close as we'll get to BioShock the movie. So yeah, that is the movie section. So we're gonna move on to books and things that I don't know how to class, so they're just all gonna be dumped here. All right, books, so many books. Actually not so many books. I don't know why I'm doing this or why I'm saying this. Not too many, although very helpful. I've been reading a lot lately, actually, a lot. I don't know why, I'm just kind of in that mood. Usually colder months make me want to read. Summer months I hardly ever read, to be honest, although I kind of want to change that, so we'll see. But I talked about last week and the week prior about a book I got, Retrain Your Anxious Brain. I heard about it through my coworker May, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, and I'm glad I did buy it. It really helped with my anxiety. Anxiety for me is something that comes back every few months. It doesn't go away. Like, it's not just stress, it just keeps reoccurring. But this book has some really practical and reasonable tactics in terms of alleviating that, even if just temporarily. It at least eased my mind, and it gave me a different mindset as to how I should be tackling my life and what my expectations should be. So I highly recommend this book. It's by John Silimperis with Dale Deanne Schwartz. Something to keep in mind. Check it out on Amazon, at your local bookstore, or wherever suits your fancy. But I definitely recommend it if you are someone who's dealing with anxiety, like I do, unfortunately. I wish I didn't. Oh God. If only. If only. But it's just with the way I grew up. This is what happens when you grow up in a dysfunctional family and you move around constantly. I moved way too much growing up for my own good. It was a really great adventure, but when you're older, it messes you up. Maybe not every kid, but for me, it definitely messed me up, because I moved all around the US, if you didn't know. Like, I lived in Missouri, New Jersey, Colorado, Michigan, and then I moved back to Canada. That's where I'm originally from. And yeah, it was an adventure, and there was a big sacrifice involved, but it was worth it, you know, and a lot of other things too. Like I said, dysfunctional family, alcoholism, all sorts of stuff that I won't get into right now. But yeah, I mean, I definitely learned a lot through it, so I definitely recommend it. The next book that I got was Python Pocket Reference, because I'm learning Python. One of the companies because I have 3 jobs right now, one of the companies I'm working with is an indie developer here in the city in Toronto, and we use Python pretty avidly. I also do a lot of script editing, where we have to spend a lot of time around not only the script itself with the dialogue, but also just Python syntax, right? So I'm still in the middle of learning Python over at Code Academy, but this is a nice little pocket reference book for whenever I need to freshen up, because I'm going to be spending a lot more time doing programming, and then I'll later do C#, something I've always wanted to learn, and this is a really good first language to work with. I mean, I learned some in school growing up, but, you know, not enough. I think I'm really gonna like C# too, by the sounds of it, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then the last book I've got here is Creative Confidence: Unleashing the Creative Potential Within Us All. This is actually a pretty good book. I will say that this book in particular is full of knowledge that I already have. But sometimes it's nice to have books like that, because it'll remind you of the things you should already know. You could say the same for the anxiety book too. It's kind of stuff that maybe you keep pent up and you don't really think about as much. But this is by Tom Kelly and David Kelly. I really enjoy this a lot. I'm still reading it. I'm still in the middle of reading it right now. I read it before I bought it, so I didn't put bookmarks in it, but I think I might want to start over again, because I definitely want to. It's an expensive book, I'll tell you that much. It's like 40 bucks for this book, because it's hardcover and it's got really nice color gloss paper, which I have no idea why they did that, but they did. I just would love a soft cover someday, so I don't have to worry about these slip covers. But it's really nice, and it gives you some really nice examples of how to integrate creativity into your life no matter what. Creativity is a big part of my life, and it's taught me a lot. In the sense that I feel like I was never really the kind of person who could work in a mainstream environment. I could never work with a newspaper company. I could never work with a mainstream news website or anything like that. I was just talking to my boss about this today, actually, how hard it is for me to do something like that. There's so many places I tried to write for as a journalist that just didn't suit me. It just didn't work for me. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, where am I gonna go? Because a lot of the times, like with journalists that I know, they'll be like, well, this is the most straightforward path for me. And yeah, it very much is. It's the safe path to go if you are looking to make this your full-time career. However, with me, I didn't want to make any sacrifices. Maybe that makes me really rigid. Maybe it means that I'm not really good at being flexible, but I was to an extent, because I did write for the Future Shop Tech blog, a corporate blog for, you know, an electronics, what would you call it? Distributor. And you know, it was good, and it definitely offered me some leverage as to like figuring out how I could approach my career goals in a much more creative manner. It definitely was something that I wanted, and it gave me that chance to be able to do so. Yes, I have 3 jobs, but I love every single one of them. Do they burn me out? Sometimes they do, but people burn me out more than those do. So I'm just really happy that at least I've been able to find a way to integrate creativity into my life in every single way. Like, not just in my home life here, not just in the fact that I can make these YouTube videos for all of you, but that I can do so in my other work as well, and even at ANC Games too. It's very fulfilling, I gotta say. It's very fulfilling to be able to do something like this and, you know, live your dreams, even if it is a bit on the hard side, but still be able to live comfortably financially. So that I'm really happy with. You know, I took the harder path. I took the beaten path. I definitely didn't take, you know, the fancy roads like a lot of people do. But I'm really happy with the way I went about things, because I decided to challenge myself in that way and not worry about sacrificing what I really wanted to do. And that's something that's really hard to do. And I don't blame anybody for taking a different path, because this was the harder path, but that's what I wanted in life. So this book was, this book here, Creative Confidence, is really great for reminding me of that and reminding me of how important it is to incorporate creativity into every single aspect of it. So yeah, one more thing, because this is obviously the best way to end any pickup video, but I got a candle and it's pretty and it smells good. It smells, apparently it's supposed to smell like rain and grass. I really like the smell of freshly cut grass, and I like the smell of rain. I can smell the rain part. This is a really weird way of ending things. It's like, hey, so we're gonna get into a deep conversation, and then we're gonna talk about the smell of grass and rain. But I really do like this candle. Oops, what did, so I really like this candle a lot, and this was another thing I got. So this was actually it for this month. A little on the light side, and I didn't pick up my comics, but obviously you'll be seeing a lot more next month, so yeah. So I hope you enjoyed my January pickups. That was super fun. I'm very curious to know what you got in January. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm so weird. Stay tuned this Friday, Friday the 13th, woo! Because I clearly don't know when to time things ever, like for Halloween and stuff. So Friday the 13th will be my chance to do my top list for Ocarina of Time, my top scariest moments of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask rather. I don't know if I'm doing 5 or 10. I'm thinking about that tonight, actually, right after I'm done with this. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you all later, okay? Alright, peace.